What interests you in this position?
Well, I feel like I'm a good fit for the position. I have knowledge of Active Directory. I do have some experience with server administration, working with virtualization. I also do have experience hardening networks and devices. I have experience with Microsoft Teams. I have a background in cybersecurity with my associates, so I'm familiar with the zero trust model and with best practices and security standards. I'm actually a long term customer of your bank, credit union rather. And I do have experience as a team lead in prior positions with a focus on management, training, and fostering a positive work culture. I have experience working with regulation compliance and standards, and I do have experience with scripting and automation.
All right. What do you know about our organization?
Well, I know that you're a regional industry leader with over 25 locations in Wyoming and Colorado. You have over 140,000 members right now with a focus on individual and business clients. You're a local pillar of the community. You have the Blue Foundation, which you match up to 80% of every dollar received to fund for housing, education, and economic opportunities to give back to our communities. And I know that you were voted one of the best credit unions to work for. You've got your Great Place to Work certification, and you were even mentioned by Forbes as being best in state.
Very good. Given your lack of direct experience, how do you feel that your education translates into the role?
Oh, well, my education provides a solid foundation that is very relevant to the job posting. Within my classes, we had a heavy focus on cloud management and virtualization. Not only that, we also focused on maintaining backups and reliability, managing storage environments, including SANs, and scripting and automation, as I mentioned earlier. We also have a focus on business professionalism, which is something that I know not all programs do provide.
All right. Given your lack of direct experience, how do you feel your prior work experiences translate into this role?
Oh, well, I definitely had a lot of experience in leadership roles, specifically coaching and development and training new employees or people that are moving into higher roles. I also was responsible for fostering the office culture. I have a lot of experience with problem solving and using analytical skills when needed for more complex matters. Not only that, I have experience coordinating between departments in a dynamic, fast paced environment, strong customer service skills, and even experience with business to business relations, all of which I feel would transfer strongly into this role.
Okay. Do you feel you perform better in rapidly changing and high autonomy roles or consistent activity and low autonomy roles, and why?
I feel like I can excel in either role. I thrive, though, in highly dynamic roles that have greater ranges of autonomy. So I like that because it keeps things fresh and engaging. I love to learn, and that provides an opportunity to be doing that on a consistent basis. I also like having the authority to address problems as they arise and being able to come up with solutions dynamically and focus on what currently is the most relevant and highest priority.
What are your career aspirations in 1 year, 3 years, 6 years, and 10 years?
All right. Well, in 1 year, I would like to have been working with your company as a cloud infrastructure manager for a year. In 3 years, I would like to be at a level where perhaps I could work on providing greater value in a leadership role. 6 years, I'll be fairly tenured, and I would like to maybe pivot into a more specialized role and see if that's a way that I'd be able to provide further value to the organization. And 10 years is a pretty long time out, best laid plans and all, but my hope is that I could be in a senior level position within the organization. And given the amount of familiarity I would have with the workings of the infrastructure and the needs of the business, I would be able to take a senior level management position.
Okay. Tell me about a time you had a severe conflict with a coworker or peer. What was the issue? How did you resolve it? And what was the long term outcome?
Well, I tend to try not to engage in conflict with other team members. I'm usually the one trying to help de escalate issues between others. If ever there is a conflict, I try to talk to the other person, and if that doesn't resolve the issue, I generally take the appropriate channels of escalation to higher ups per company policy in order to prevent things from escalating to getting to a point of severe conflict.
Alright. Tell me about a time when you had to make a high level decision on your own. What was the circumstance? How did you come to your decision? And what was the outcome?
Okay. Well, when I was working as an assistant director for a local division of a large national organization, I was part of a two-person team that was in charge of the hiring process for our office. And we had the final say in whether or not we would hire the people who were customer facing and in charge of also dealing with finances. So each hire in and of itself was a fairly high level decision, as these people were the face of our organization. And if they misallocated funds or had negative interactions, it would be detrimental to our public image. And not only that, but as they were fundraising, we had to evaluate if they'd be able to perform the job well and merit the expenses of hiring and training. The way that I would reach my decision, or that we would reach our decision, was through a mix of examining the candidate's work history and using that along with standardized interviewing techniques, and just based on the performance and responses in the interview, determine if they were a good fit. There was one guy that the other hiring manager did not want to hire because they stumbled a little bit in their interview on a question. But given his prior work experience and history, I thought that he would be a really good fit. So I convinced them to go ahead and give him a chance. So we went ahead and hired him, and he ended up getting promoted. He was our best team lead in the office, and he was actually our number one fundraiser. And on top of this, the team that we hired actually made the top three teams across the whole national organization in terms of the fundraising that we achieved that summer. And the specific decision I made to hire that individual had a huge positive impact, not only on our office culture, but on our productivity as well.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
You too.